Hi, and welcome to this video walkthrough for National Geographic Learning's Voices series, a 7-level series for young adults and adults. In this video, we'll start by looking at some of the key features of the course, before going through a unit in more detail, looking at some of those key features in action. We'll finish by looking at how the course supports and help teachers to deliver effective lessons to maximize teaching and learning. So, what makes Voices different to every other coursebook? What makes it unique? There are a number of different answers to that question. First of all, Voices is very much a global coursebook, with content from all over the world, bringing the world into the classroom. This is done through National Geographic photography, articles, and explorers. Look at these images and lessons, and think about how they make you feel. Maybe they make you feel curious. Maybe they make you feel excited or inquisitive. Maybe they make you feel happy or give you feelings of positivity. Maybe they make you feel motivated and engaged. And these are things that we want for our students when they come into our language classroom. We want them to feel that they are experiencing the world in which English is used. Another key feature of the course is the focus on intercultural and interpersonal communication skills development. With the role of English in a global context ever increasing, there is more need than ever for students to be able to interact successfully with other users of English. As co-author Chie-Swan Chong says, the communication skills in Voices allow learners to dive into different areas of interpersonal communication, offering teachers and students useful tips, strategies, and language which can be practiced in realistic scenarios. Communication skills practiced include things like building trust, managing group conversations, giving and receiving feedback, managing conflict, dealing with misunderstandings, negotiating, and turn-taking. All skills which students will need when using English in the real world. Another feature of the course is the inclusion of linguistic mediation activities, which reflects their prominence in 2018's updated CEFR companion. All three types of mediation, mediating texts, concepts, and communication, are included throughout the main student's book, as well as by way of supplementary communicative worksheets found in the back of the teacher's book. The next key feature is the inclusion of National Geographic explorers as linguistic role models. The explorers come from all over the world: Latin America, Europe, India, Madagascar, the Philippines, Italy, as well as the UK and the US. And this gives learners the opportunity to become used to different accents, the kind of accents that they will hear in the real world. The explorers can be found in the unit openers, as well as in other lessons throughout the units. The last feature to point out is the pronunciation syllabus, which is focused on international intelligibility and which is based on research and the lingua franca core. In this respect, there is a focus on the pronunciation areas that help communication and intelligibility: vowel sounds, tricky consonants, for example, p and b, w and v, l and r, as well as consonant clusters and nuclear stress. Furthermore, each pronunciation spot has two models, one native speaker and one non-native speaker, as well as instructions on how to successfully make the sounds. So those are the key features of voices. Let's now look at a unit. And the one featured here is from the pre-intermediate level. As you can see, every unit has 6 main lessons. There is a reading lesson, 2 grammar and skills lessons, a communication skills lesson, and a writing lesson. And that is preceded by the unit opener. In addition, there is a review and reflect section at the back of the book. Let's take a closer look. The unit opener introduces students to the topic and sets their expectations for the unit through vibrant photography, real and relatable National Geographic Explorer videos. At the top, the unit goals are clearly signposted. It's here that the students meet the National Geographic Explorers through bite-sized personal videos, which share snapshots from their everyday experiences that students can easily relate to and use as a model for interaction. Guided speaking activities then encourage them to make connections with their own lives. Lesson A provides students with a rich topical input as a springboard for reading and critical thinking skills development, as well as plenty of opportunities for peer interaction. As such, the reading lessons follow a before you read, while you read, and after you read reading structure, with a focus on reading skills and critical thinking. Reading skills vary from level to level, but include things like skimming and scanning, recognizing main ideas, summarizing, understanding sequencing, and reading fluency. Critical thinking skills are also varied from level to level, but include identifying fact or opinion, reflecting, inferring meaning, reading between the lines, evaluating sources, synthesizing, evaluating, and analyzing. It's also worth noting that all of the reading texts also come with audio, which can be used in various ways by the teacher, including for differentiation. These lessons also end with an Explore More section, which suggests a variety of ways in which teachers and students can engage with a unit beyond the coursebook. Again, bringing the real world into the classroom. Lesson B introduces the first grammar point of the unit, and this is introduced in context through either a short text, an infographic, or a listening activity. In terms of grammar approach, at lower levels, there is a more traditional, deductive, teacher-led approach. But as you go through the levels, this changes to a more inductive approach, with students taking on more responsibility for working out grammar rules and applying them. In addition, if your students need further support, there is an extended grammar reference section at the back of the book, along with extra controlled practice activities. Following the grammar presentation, there are a series of controlled practice activities, which then lead on to more personalized communicative tasks. If you need more controlled or communication practice activities, These are available as photocopyable worksheets in the back of the teacher's book. Moving on to Lesson C. This lesson develops transferable listening skills, presents topic-related vocabulary, and introduces the second grammar point of the unit. In this lesson, we can see that the grammar and vocabulary is contextualized through a listening activity with a National Geographic Explorer. When it comes to the vocabulary section, extra content is signposted to the vocabulary reference at the back of the book. And there are also additional worksheets that can be found in the teacher's book for extra in-class practice or for homework. As with Lesson A, there is also an additional worksheet for grammar practice in the teacher's book. Pronunciation points are integrated into the lesson sequence and, as well as presenting students with productive points, giving them the opportunity to practice what they hear, students also explore receptive points, taking the time to notice and understand without always being encouraged to produce them. To further support the pronunciation syllabus, there are extra pronunciation activities in the back of the teacher's book. As with Lesson B, lessons always finish with a communicative practice activity, and additional worksheets can be found in the teacher's book. Lesson D is the communication skills lesson, and this reinforces the language of the unit as well as developing communicative strategies to navigate a wide range of interpersonal and intercultural situations. Guidance is provided through videos, which can be streamed from the companion site or played from the classroom presentation tool. And then carefully sequenced tasks enable students to formulate their own responses to hypothetical situations in the safe environment of the classroom. So, in this example, we can see that once students have watched the video, the communication skill is introduced, along with useful language, before giving students the opportunity to own it and practice using the skills and language they've acquired. Many of these activities will also develop students' linguistic mediation skills. The final lesson of the unit is the writing lesson, which follows a genre writing approach. Depending on the level, this might include emails, letters, stories, blogs, reviews, reports, essays, and social media posts. Each lesson starts with a model, and this is followed by a clear step-by-step approach that guides learners to put the grammar and vocabulary from the unit into their own writing. Every writing lesson also has a writing skills focus as well. Once students have completed their piece of writing, they are encouraged to use a checklist to self-assess, and then to review each other's work, thus developing learner autonomy and peer feedback skills. The final feature to point out in the student's book is the reflect and review section, which can be found at the back of the student's book. These activities build learner autonomy by encouraging them to reflect on what they have learned, to think about how successfully they have achieved the goals of the unit, and how they can continue to practice. For extra in-class practice or for homework activities, The workbook mirrors the structure of the student's book, with additional reading, grammar, vocabulary, listening, pronunciation, and writing lessons. Each unit in the workbook also features several learning to learn sections, helping students to become more effective and independent learners. Finally, every 2 units in the workbook, there is a review. Let's now look at how Voices supports teachers and enables them to teach with confidence. Any teacher's best friend with a new course is the teacher's book. And the teacher's book for Voices is exceptional in the support that it offers. The first thing to note is that the teacher's book also has the student's book embedded within it, with all of the answers clearly visible in pink. As well as the unit aims clearly laid out, there is additional information about the photos and the explorers, as well as a list of additional photocopyable resources available for that unit. For each individual lesson, lesson goals are presented along with step-by-step, activity-by-activity instructions for teachers. Optional steps are also suggested, as well as grammar boxes, vocabulary notes, and extra activities. There are also links to the photocopyable activities. These can be found at the back of the book, and there are 7 for every unit. There are 2 grammar, 2 communication, 1 vocabulary, 1 pronunciation, and 1 mediation worksheet for every unit. So, as you can see, the content of the student's book is not the entirety of the course, as there is so much extra available in the teacher's book, giving teachers the flexibility and ease of use that they need to deliver effective and engaging lessons. However, there is even more support for teachers on the Voices companion website, which can be found at www.eltngl.com/Voices resources. The site is password protected, but the login details for the site can be found at the front of the teacher's book or by contacting your local National Geographic Learning representative. Once logged in, teachers can access the vast array of resources. These include answer keys, the teacher's book, all of the audio and video scripts, CEFR correlations, word lists, as well as all of the photocopyable materials from the teacher's book. Under the Exams tab, there are 2 level-appropriate Cambridge exam practice tests and a level-appropriate IELTS test. Under the Voices Assessment Suite tab, teachers can find ready-made unit, mid-year, and end-of-year tests for all of their assessment needs. In addition, teachers also have access to the Professional Development Video Collection. Here, teachers can find 23 videos from the Voices authors, including videos about teaching pronunciation, communication skills, and mediation, as well as videos on how to teach low-level learners and exam preparation classes. Within the Virtual Voices Toolkit, there are 9 videos dedicated to best practice for online teaching. These again feature authors of the series. Finally, teachers also have access to the Voices online platform. Within the platform, teachers have access to the online and offline classroom presentation tool to aid effective teaching in both face-to-face and online environments. The platform can also be used to create courses and set assignments and tests, the results of which can be viewed through the gradebook. For more information about the Voices online platform, please watch the individual tutorials on the online platform. That brings us to the end of this walkthrough for Voices. We hope you have found it useful in giving you an overview of the course. Take some time now to reflect on what you've learnt about Voices and how you are feeling about teaching with the course. For more information, please visit www.eltngl.com/resources.